Do I even care that there's an epilogue? Do I want to read what happens later on? But oh boy. Hi everyone, this is Eliza. Welcome back to Eliza's Bookshelf. Welcome if you're new. Today I want to go over two books that I recently read, two romance books that are super popular on booktok or, Instagram and stuff like that. And they are Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood and The Spanish Love Deception by Elena Armas. Hopefully I'm pronouncing her name right. But anyways, so these two books, I did not really know that they had a common theme. It's overall like a story of enemies to lovers, but in a specific way, I think. And I noticed the similarities when I read this one, because I read this one first and I really liked it, and I read this one and I'll let you know my thoughts. But basically, both of these are kind of like enemies to lovers, the kind where one person is really adamant that they are both enemies, but the other person in this couple is like, what are you talking about? I always liked you. I just never told you my feelings. So let's just dive right in. One of these books I liked and one of these books I did not like as much. So we'll see which one it is. Let's just go over Love on the Brain because I read that one first. It's about this woman named B. Koenigswagger. I'm totally butchering it. B. Koenigswasser. So I'm butchering her last name very much, so I'll just call her B. And she works with this guy named Levi. So they went to school earlier, and he was a couple of years ahead of her, so a couple of years older than her. And basically there was some sort of miscommunication earlier on, and she just had this thought that he did not like her at all, whether it's because of her gender, how she acts, how she looks, whatever. She just has it in her mind that he is her sworn enemy, right? And so years later, I don't know how many years later, they're supposed to be working on a project together. I really liked it though. I thought it was super cute. I guess the type of enemies to lovers trope that I like is when it's because of a simple miscommunication and that is easily fixable. There are other enemies to lovers books that I read this year that I thought they were both really bad people for each other and they should be enemies, and I didn't know if I could forgive what they did to each other. Dating Dr. Dill. Anyways, so I feel like that's the type of enemies to lovers trope that I like, where they think they're enemies, but one person is actually pining for the other, and one of them is like, no, I'm pretty sure you hate me. You're my enemy. So that's this one. They have to figure out how to work together because they're trying to figure out how to make this space helmet for astronauts and stuff like that. I think there's something going on with the workplace people too. So it's kind of like a workplace romance, enemies to lovers. And I thought it was super cute. I heard a lot of people did not like this book, or a lot of bad reviews, because it's similar to Love Hypothesis, but I loved Love Hypothesis. So I like this one too. I think the main complaint that I've been hearing is that everything is the same. It's kind of formulaic, if that is a word. It's the same, it feels the same, the characters feel the same, she's not writing anything different. But I read Love Hypothesis last year and my memory sucks, so I already forgot a lot of the details. So when I read this book, I was like, this is so cute, it's something new, I've never read this before, but you can still feel like the quirkiness of the characters that, I guess is Ali Hazelwood's writing style. I like it though because as a woman in STEM myself, I'm not always like super serious or super professional. I'm really quirky and immature sometimes, especially with my kids, my husband. We do a lot of really silly stuff, and to see that in her, I thought it was super cute. I don't think the meet cute was as good as Love Hypothesis because technically it's not really a meet cute. They kind of like thought they hated each other. He just needs to figure out how he communicates with people, because he understands that he maybe was standoffish and maybe said some things that came off wrong, and he knows that. He's working on it. So I liked both of them. That was good. I really like this one. Spanish Love Deception. So this one is also super popular, and her second book came out recently, earlier this month, called The American Roommate Experiment. And when I read the synopsis to that, I was like, this sounds like something that I'm really interested. I like the trope. I like the roommate trope. And are they fake dating too in that one? I don't know. I just remember when I read it, I really thought I would like it. And I was kind of scared to pick this one up because it was so popular on BookTok and Instagram and BookTube, whatever, right? It was super popular. Yeah, and that's the only reason why I was kind of scared to pick it up, because sometimes when things are just overhyped, I get kind of like, I don't know. I'm worried it won't live up to my expectations. So I started reading this one this month because the second one's out and I want to kind of get a feel of the characters, because I think these two make an appearance in the second book. Anyways, so when I started reading it, I know it was fake dating trope, but I didn't know that it was kind of like enemies to lovers too. So it kind of reminded me of Love Hypothesis that way, because these two work together, same work environment. She thinks that he hates her. He technically doesn't, but he doesn't really do anything to let her know that he doesn't, right? And so kind of like enemies to lovers trope that way. And they get into this fake dating scheme because she is going back to Spain with her family because her sister is getting married. She doesn't want to look like she's single and miserable because her ex is going to be there. So she's like, I need a fake date. And so in comes her coworker who she thinks hates her. But anyways, so yes, you have that. And at the beginning, I was like, this is so cute. It's kind of like the same trope as Love on the Brain. It made me change my ideas on this other trope too, because I never really liked enemies to lovers. I was always like gung-ho about friends to lovers, you know, childhood friends to lovers, that type of stuff. And so when I read this one, coming off of Love on the Brain, I was like, maybe this is a new favorite trope of mine, you know, enemies to lovers. But the nice kind of enemies, not the dating Dr. Dill types of enemies. Anyways, so I was super enjoying this one. I was setting up like a giveaway on Instagram, getting ready to buddy read or set up a buddy read for the next one. And then I was getting halfway through and I was like, you know what? I'm getting super bored. Nothing's happening. But you know, I didn't hate it. I was just not interested for some reason. I think the first half of it, she's still in the workplace environment. And then the second half, she's going to the wedding. And then the first half, I guess I liked more because there's a lot of that build up, a lot of that like, oh, you know, this guy hates me, why? And then go to Spain, and I don't know why, I just lost interest. It just got super boring. It was a lot of paragraphs about her feelings. I don't know. And then it quickly turned downhill a lot later on. So in the beginning, I was like, this is a pretty good book, maybe 4.5 stars. In the middle, I was like, maybe it's a 3. You know, if it doesn't turn around soon, maybe it'll stay a 3, but maybe if it gets better, it'll still be a 4. And then bam, at the end, I was like, I don't know if I like it. Maybe it's a 2. I just did not care for these two characters by the end. I was like, do I even care that there's an epilogue? Do I want to read what happens later on? But oh boy, even while I was reading this, a lot of my friends said like, oh, there's something stupid that happens. You know, a lot of people said this and that about this book. It wasn't really good. And I was like, you know what? I'll just keep my mind open. I'm liking it so far. And then I was so disappointed at the end. I don't think I ever felt this disappointed with a romance book since Dating Dr. Dill. But even with Dating Dr. Dill, it was like at the beginning, I was already disappointed with the two characters. With this, I had such high hopes because it started out so good. So sad to say, I did not like this as much as Love on the Brain. But I am hoping that the second one is a lot better because I have been hearing a lot of good reviews for that one. And I think I like that trope or that scenario a lot better. And plus, there is a dog involved in that one. So the second book involves Lucas, which is one of her cousins, and Rosie, one of her friends or coworkers too. And there's a dog involved, and I love dogs so much. So yeah, thank you for hearing me rant, Kaylee and Daphne and Sam. But unfortunately, this one was good in the beginning and then took a nosedive later on, specifically in the last third of the book. But the cover is still so pretty. Anyway, so it's a lot of good marketing on this book. Yeah, these are two popular BookTok books that I read recently in romance, and I like this one more than this one, but I just wanted to announce that I am doing a giveaway on Instagram. I recently did the Losers Club readathon. The Losers Club readathon is a Stephen King it themed readathon that I did last week, and it's just a bunch of prompts like, oh, read a book that is recommended by Stephen King, read a book that has red in the cover, read a book with a creepy setting, you know, that type of stuff. And I set up a whole TBR. I think I only read like one book that was on the TBR, and that's the buddy read. So with that readathon, I just read a lot of mystery, horror, thriller, and it was very dark and bleak and depressing. And once I did the buddy read 1922, I was just so depressed. I was like, I need a lot of romance to perk myself up. And so I decided that I'm going to do a monthly contemporary romance readathon starting next month, October. The first book that I picked is The American Roommate Experiment, which is book 2. So unfortunately, I did not like this much, but I'm hoping that book 2, I'm still hopeful. I'm hoping that book 2 is going to be a lot better. So I'm doing a buddy read for that. If you want to join, just let me know on Instagram. I am doing a giveaway for that book 2. So go ahead and join if you want to. It'll all be on my Instagram. So I'll link it down below. So yes, I mean, if you've read any of these books and you have thoughts or opinions, please let me know. I'd like to hear them. What a disappointment. But this one, I actually was not expecting too much. I forgot what I heard going in, so maybe that did affect what I thought too. Oh yeah, I did hear some people say that they didn't like it as much, so I was like, all right, cool. But I went into it anyways, and maybe that affected how much I liked it. So that's why I'm a little wary about books that I see a lot of high reviews for, a lot of praise, and it's like, I don't know. But I try to go in with an open mind anyways, and I think I did with this one. You know, I went in thinking that, oh my gosh, it is good, but it just, the end was not good. The end was weird. I was like, what is going on? But anyways, yes, that is my 2 reviews. And remember, if you want to enter the giveaway or join me on that buddy read for October, just join my Instagram. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.